Hey everybody, I haven't really done a show and tell video in a little while, so I thought I would do that today. Some of the things that I have found recently at the thrift stores or that I'm working on getting listed this week. But before I do that, I just wanted to give a shout out to all of you guys who watched my last video and who showed me so much support from my true confession video about why I've been dragging along so much and not being as productive and as visible as I have been in the past. So I appreciate all the comments, even the cards, the different things that you guys shared with me, different suggestions and things like that. I have been feeling, I think this week I feel just in general a little bit better. I have been trying to do some of the things that I had talked about, changing my diet, some of the things you guys talked about too, with certain vitamins and supplements, trying to get outside a little bit more. Exercise is probably the hardest one because when you don't feel like doing anything, that's one of the hardest things to make yourself do. So still working on that one, but taking advantage of a few days of feeling a little bit more like myself. So I've been listing, and then I have been trying to work a little bit on delisting and relisting some stale listings in my eBay store. So I did that through the time I wasn't feeling my best, and that kind of kept our sales somewhat steady. So we've been doing pretty good. But I was excited to get some fresh items on there. And so I thought I would share with you what I'm working on, some of the things that I've already gotten listed, but then some items I have found, and I'm hopefully working on getting those things listed this week. So let's just start with this that's hanging right in the way. And it's a brand I have talked about before on the channel. It's called Ali Miles. So it's a nice bread and butter brand that maybe a lot of people don't know about, but it's very art to wear is a term you can use, as well as log and look. A lot of times it's asymmetrical, a lot of times it's colorful like this. I had actually found 2 Ali Miles pieces that day, and it had been a little while since I had found any. But I think the other one, it turns out I'm gonna keep it. So it doesn't look anything like this. It's much more muted in tones, it's earth tones, and so it's much more me. So I'll end up keeping that one. But anyway, this is a fun one. I think I listed it for about $35, and I should be able to get in that like $27 to $30 range. Okay, so then this was a fun find. This is a brand that always sells for us. The brand, you can see it better on the tag. It's Lands of Salzburg, and it's a nightgown. It's a flannel nightgown. Now, Lands of Salzburg, there's usually it's got stripes and flowers. It's more of their like signature print, I would say. I've sold those pre-owned a bunch of times, but I was so happy when I saw this on the rack of clothes that was due to go out, because I was like, new with tags, it's extra large. So I have it now. See, now I got to remember what I did. It wasn't that long ago either. Like it buttons the top part. I think I listed it at $40, I think is what I did. And I have a feeling it will go pretty quickly, because this is one of those things that you could even give as a gift or something like that because of the new with tags part of it. So we'll see how that goes. As always, I will report back on these listings. If you just watch my what sold videos, you'll eventually see them when I get to them. Okay, I just have this random book that I found at our little bin store, our little clearance store, and I saw a comp when I was there. Now, okay, so let me just show you what it is. It's the diabetic manual, and there are others in solds. I had seen this one is like from 1929, and I had seen one in solds. I always sneeze when I do these videos. Okay. Probably the dust in this book. Anyway, had sold like in the $30 range or something like that. I got home, I went to go list it, and I realized, I don't know if this will make a huge difference, it might, that it's ex-library. So it was withdrawn from the library of the University of Washington. So it's not like a little school library, but a college library. and in Seattle, and it's in really good shape. So I have it listed. I'm just gonna see what happens. It was the bin, so I hardly paid anything for it. Okay, and then I'm gonna talk about the stuff I've already listed first. Now, do you guys know about these? You guys probably remember them, but anyway, Hidden Valley Ranch, little shaker bottle. You could get the little packet of powder and make your own Hidden Valley Ranch dressing. So I think I had seen it from another reseller, like a post or a video or something like that. And so we were on our trip, and I'll put footage up. I saw it up on the shelf, and I was like, I think that's something I should check. Now, we're not talking big money. If you found it new in the package, there was a new in the package sold for like, I don't know, $40 or something like that. 30 or 40. But when I first looked up comps, I was gonna grab it because it was only like 50 cents. And I ended up checking comps, and I saw comps for like $15, like $13, $14, $15. And I was like, okay, I'll just do that. It'll be something fun to talk about, because I love selling those little random things that other people will overlook at the thrift stores. And somebody might really be looking for this. Well, then I looked at comps again, and I realized, oh, it's better if you have the little stir wheel on the inside. You can get closer to 18 to 20 if you have that. And I was happy to see that I did have that in this. So that one's listed. I have it listed for about 20, but if I send a 10% offer or someone sends me an offer, it might go for a little bit less than that. But super easy and fun. Okay, I think I also got these on my trip. I have a weakness for these little tea bag holders. They're also called tea rests, like a spoon rest. Anyway, they usually say, I'll hold the bag. A lot of times they're anthropomorphic. They have the face, like it looks like a real teapot, but it has a face, or it looks like an apple and it has a face, you know, things like that. But this one has its original sticker. It's Norcrest. I just have these listed for $18, and I have them cross posted across several of the sites, but I just thought they were super cute. I had a collection of these for a while. I even had a display rack on my wall that was small enough to hold these. Anywho, okay, let's see. Another item from our trip was this Pendleton Clean Canteen, a little tumbler kind of thing. It's vacuum insulated. It's nice and clean. I have it listed for like $48. There is a comp with that price. I can't remember. I don't think it was a new item. But this one with the wide mouth is a little bit harder to come by. And so I just priced it up higher just to see what would happen. There's also this pattern, but with like a water bottle top where it gets narrow, and it's more for water bottles. So I just thought, hey, why not? This I picked up at a Value Village on our trip. And back when we lived in Washington, I loved Value Village. That was my jam. That was my favorite. It's known as Savers, Unique Thrift. It's got a bunch of different names around the country and other countries. So it was just fun to go in it. The prices can be a little high, but I think we're all kind of getting used to that in thrift stores these days. But had two good names on it, and we'll see what happens. Okay, fun one. I think I picked this up recently, but I have sold this mug before. Don't let the turkeys get you down. It's words to live by. It's Sandra Boynton, recycled paper products. Anyway, I sold this mug back in January for $20, and comps right now are not anywhere near the $20, but I listed mine at $20 anyway. They're mostly selling for like 12 or 13, but I'll just keep mine up there and see what happens. If I have to take an offer and go down a little bit, I don't like to go much less than 15 for a coffee mug, but we'll see. Okay, then I spotted this beauty at the Goodwill, and I thought, so do you guys know what this would be? Some of you probably know it. And sure enough, it's marked on the back, McKenzie Childs, and it's a Victoria and Richard McKenzie Childs. And then it has the name of the pattern right here, which was helpful, but it's Kuchenhof. And I think that has something to do with tulips. But anyway, it's Aurora, New York is the address given on this. But yeah, it's a New York company, is it? You guys leave me a comment down below. I don't know much about the history of McKenzie Childs, just that I generally pick it up when I find it. And certain patterns like this one will get discontinued. Comps on this are not super high, maybe like 30. Well, that's not bad, but like 30-ish or something. I did price it a little bit higher in Etsy because a lot of times you can get higher prices in Etsy and there isn't as much competition. I looked to see what was listed there right now. So anyway, piece of just a fun little piece that I was so happy to pick up at Goodwill, and it's in good shape. There's no chips or anything like that. Okay, so I think that's what I got listed yesterday and a little bit this morning. I did also list a pair of Skechers men's shoes that I picked up at the bins, but I didn't bring those down here because they're not very exciting. But let's switch over to some of the stuff that I have found that I'm still working on and some fun stuff, okay? Okay, so the other day I picked up this little organizer. It is missing the strap that would go here, but it has a little pocket on this side. And let's see, I paid $3. It could have been the day I was at this thrift store on the day everything was half off, so it might have been that day. So $3 at the most, but as you can see, it is Franklin Quest. So it's a vintage Franklin Covey. And we have just been, as we've picked up organizers, I know I talk a lot about organizers for the beginning of the year, like New Year's resolutions and things like that. But we've just been buying them and listing them. And I'm not saving them up for January, but they're selling. So all I'm saying is if you get them listed, you know, if you have any in your stash, be sure to get them listed before the beginning of the new year because people get into their organization and resolutions and such. Anyway, I just thought that was super cute. I have no idea what this will sell for. I had found an organizer on our trip by Scully. You'll see it in an upcoming What Sold. And it was kind of scratched up, but it was leather and it's a Western brand and it got a lot of attention. And it sold recently for like $30. So we'll see what we can do with that. Franklin Quest, Franklin Covey, a lot of times surprises me with what price you can get for these. Now here's a piece. You guys might recognize that logo. Okay, not something I come across in Montana very often. And what do you guys call this? Like, I was searching Diddy bag because that's what my dad called it, but I couldn't find anything. Then I found out that they call it like a travel kit bag. And then I've seen wash bag, and then I've seen DOP, D-O-P-P bag. So all sorts of different names for this little toiletries bag. That might work. Anyway, it's got the Coach Creed on the inside. And my quick glance at it, I haven't really looked at it. I'll look for typos. That's kind of the thing you look for to make sure something is real. But I'm not sure the toilet, I mean, you know, they can fake anything they want, but I don't know. The comps, like for a used one, like maybe $50 or something like that. It's in fairly good shape. And the crazy thing is that they charged me like $2.50 at this thrift store. So maybe they didn't recognize the logo. It was a small little private thrift store, or maybe they're like, it's just a toiletry bag, no big deal, whatever. So hopefully I'll get that figured out soon. That same thrift store, when I was digging through the purses, I actually found that. I ended up getting this purse. And if you see that little logo, that's Patricia Nash. And some of her stuff can sell pretty high. I find the wallets and things kind of semi-regular, and they always move really quickly. I probably overpaid for resale. It was $20. Like I said, it was just this little private thrift, so no sales or anything. But it's one of those cases where I haven't decided if I'm keeping it or if I'm selling it. So $20 is a really good price for keeping. I probably would get 40 or 50 if I sold it. So it's not the greatest price for resale, but it does have a shoulder strap as well. Anyway, it was in pretty good condition, so I went ahead and snagged that up. Tell me what you think. Keep or sell? Tell me what you think. I probably could just keep it for a while and realize I never use it because I end up using messenger bags and I end up using backpacks because I need my hands free while I'm thrifting, right? Okay. Another book I found at the bins that I'm going to list is this book called K&E Slide Rules. And I have sold the slide rules by this company before, which is what caught my eye. Now there are some slide rules that are worth like $100, things like that. I think we've hit good ones like once or twice, but most of the time they're just like $15 or $20 type things. But I just thought, you know what? I think this picture is fun. And I could see you taking that picture, like framing it for a nerd's office or something like that. But anyway, I grabbed it because it was the bins again, kind of like the other book. And I discovered that the selling price on eBay and solds in the last 90 days or so is right about $25. So not too bad. All right. Okay, so I have this other bag. Let me, as I disappear from view. Okay, this one I'm not sure if I'm keeping or selling. I did probably overpay on this one, but it was a day I was feeling this. So it's a milk glass mug, glass bake. Don't bug me, my day is bad enough as it is. Okay, so just kind of funny. Some of these funny little saying milk glass mugs are collectible, but it was $10 and it was in the case at the thrift store. And so they don't do discounts on the stuff that's in their case. And so I just thought that was funny. And I hemmed and hawed and it was right at the register. So I tried to look it up real quick. It's not super common. So that I do have that going for me, but I probably will just throw it on that little shelf I have in my office behind me on the, where I do my videos. So we'll see. It's just fun. Okay. I should have this up higher. Let me try to do that. Okay, first of all, I should say, I love it when a thrift store gives me a bag I like, okay? So I may just, there's no chairs around here, okay. Too much trouble. I am just going to bend over, okay? All right, so then for clothing wise, this is kind of in rough shape, but it looks like it's mostly just pilling. That's the problem. But it's a Wrangler Western shirt. And I do like to pick up Wrangler Western shirts that are a little bit different. Okay, this one's definitely vintage. You can see the tag. Sorry, this thrift store tag is there too, Wrangler. Okay, so look at that. What does it say? $12. Right, so our thrift stores in Montana, we might have a lot of Western stuff, but they like to price things a little bit higher because they know it's popular. But I only paid $6 because clothing was half off that day. And it's a size 16.5, 36, so it's a pretty good size. But I think the problems in the collar are mostly fraying, or not fraying, pilling. So it shouldn't be terrible. But prices for things like this are all over the place. Someone has one listed for like $120, which new old stock maybe, and they have best offer, so they're expecting to go lower. But sales for like florals can be anywhere like $40, $25, $50. So I just have to see how the condition ends up being when I'm done playing around with it, and then I'll kind of go from there. But I paid $6 for that. Same thrift store, I picked up this little dustpan. It's got a little bird on it, and it is distressed, but I have sold these before. This was only $2. And I think the brand is JV Reed. I think I remember looking that up. And yeah, you know, 20 bucks, or I don't even know if that much. But it's super cute. People like to decorate with these, like hang them on the wall of the laundry room and things like that. It's just a fun little piece of vintage. Okay, speaking of a fun piece of vintage, this was my favorite find that day. Look at this fun little tin. Okay, so this, it's still got the sticker that said what was in it. English candy assortment on the top. And then container made in England. And it was $2 is what I paid for it. So, you know what? I never even opened it, so I'm hoping it's not bad inside. Okay. Well, it's just rusty. That's no big deal. All right. So looks okay. I think whoever buys this is just looking for decoration. And this colorful, like circus or zoo animals on black was, you know, not super common to find. So awesome. So we'll get that listed soon. More in the clothing arena, I picked up this pair of Ariat jeans. They are M4 relaxed boot cut. Clothing was half off. I paid $10 for these, and they're men's. And it turns out they're like a 32, 36. I haven't measured, so I don't know if they're actually that, but a longer pair, sometimes those unusual sizes, can do really well. And if they're wearing it with cowboy boots, the longer length is even better, because then you can get the right amount of scrunch of your pant leg over your boot. So I'm told. I am not a cowgirl. I just live in Montana. Okay, I'm gonna sneeze again, probably because of the fabric softener on that. Same thrift store. I had a really good day that day, even though stuff wasn't super cheap. I had to pay $10 for this as well. So they had it priced at $20. It's a North Face Kanga, but it's vintage. It's like a little stomach pouch or back pouch or whatever. And comps were about $40 for that. So I was okay with $10 into $40, and we'll see how that does. And so that day, like, it was half off the whole store, but they kept putting new stuff out. So I love the fact that that thrift store does that. Anyway, so they were putting out this belt, and this belt is glitzy. It has got bling over the whole thing, and it is also Ariat. So I'll see about pricing on that one. I can't remember off the top of my head. I think I paid, I don't know, I paid $12. Paid up a little bit for that one. So we'll try to get that one listed pretty soon. And in the same belt category, oh, I wonder where it is. Okay, in the same belt category, I don't know, if you're a longtime viewer, a long time ago, I had a pair of these Nakona leather suspenders. And I had brought them home and then realized that they were missing the little hook type things, right? And I remember asking you guys, like, what should I do? Like, should I try to find the replacement? Should I try to list it without it? Whatever. These little doohickeys are hard to find by themselves. I was looking all over the place, couldn't find any. So I was like, you know what? I think we finally ended up donating the suspenders back. So I found another pair, and this is Goodwill. So they were $4, and it looks like this basket weave pattern. I mean, they're really good condition. They look like they've hardly been worn, and I could probably get like $40, somewhere in there, $35 to $40 for those suspenders. So I was happy to see what they actually were supposed to look like. Okay, I just have one more thing to show you that I also got that day, and you guys can tell me what you think about it, so hold on. Now, we all know vintage Carhartt is like the thing right now. So I haven't found any in a while. I think everybody's kind of on the bandwagon, and the thrift stores have been pricing them up a little bit higher, even if I do come across them. And so yeah, it's been a minute since I found a vintage Carhartt jacket, but they were putting this one out, and I had to stop for a second and double check it. So I've talked about this before. I had to double check it because it's Carhartt for women. So it is a women's jacket. But if you look down at the bottom of the tag, there's a code, and it tells you the style of the jacket. And then there's a code for the color of the jacket. So this one, the color is MOS, which is moss green. So I double checked that that style was something people were even like interested in, and it turns out it's vintage, and like I found another one listed and sold with like a embroidery for like, it sold for like 120 or something like that. Now it does have like a bunch of pilling that, even though you can sell these distressed, I probably will try to get some of that pilling off on the inside because it's like a flannel inside. So like I said, it's got the Montana map. It's got Montana flag on this side. Now the back, ooh, another big Montana. So I don't know how people are going to feel about that. I think Montana is pretty popular these days, so maybe that'll work. And it looks like there was a name that they removed. And it also looks like it was actually a work jacket, and underneath Montana it said like land office or something like that. So maybe that's something like they can't, you know, you can't, if it's a government job or something like that, you know, you can't just get rid of it and let anyone else wear this government jacket. You know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? Does that make sense? I think it said the same thing, said some other stuff on here, but they went through the work to like pick out all that embroidery. So I do appreciate that. Someone who wants a Montana jacket, a Carhartt jacket that says Montana, I am going to be their source. Anyway, so my question, what was my question? Oh, do you think I need to price higher or lower based on the embroidery? Like, what do you think? Does that add value, detract value? Just start high, go lower. We can always do that as well. It does kind of smell a little perfumey. I don't know if it's fabric softener, but I'm gonna throw it in the wash anyway. And okay, I think that's all I have to share with you today. I have profit piles all over the place. I could stand here forever and show you all the stuff I need to list. Like, if you look up here, there's a stack of patterns I got on my trip. I went to a new to me thrift store in Idaho, and they had so much stuff. It was so wonderful. And they had patterns to go through. But unfortunately, my son has gotten his own life now. So it's been a minute since he has made any drafts for me. And so I am way behind. Besides my normal not feeling good, not listing, I don't have some ready-made drafts that are easy for me to go. So I'm going to have to do the work on those too. And then I have jewelry I've been working on too, but I didn't bring any of that down to show you. So, okay, I hope you guys are all doing well. Again, thank you for the support on the last video, and leave me a comment down below any of the things I showed you. What was your favorite find that I shared with you today? And I will talk to you soon.